Well, this is Ruth's Bookshelves, Part 3. Now, the idea in doing these videos was so I could make connections between and among my books. And that's why the bookshelves are here. Today, I'd like to do one focusing on one particular character and how she connects through several books. Again, not something I expected in the beginning, but things do happen once you start to write. The character in mind today is Fiona. Now, Fiona, and this is how these things work. Fiona appears in my very first book, Old Acquaintance. In fact, as soon as Anna Mason gets to Oban, Fiona appears, and she's a young girl, and she drives a taxi. Now, I had no notion that she was going to be so important in my stories, but somehow she became a very important character. She goes all the way through the first book with Anna, and it's between Anna and Fiona that they get the first wildcat that's in these stories, the wildcat Sylvester. So they kind of got a bond right from the beginning. And in the same book, later on, Anna helps Fiona to get qualifications. You see, the story of Fiona is that she was living with her granny because her mom and dad were fisher people off the coast of Oban, and they both died very soon after each other. So Fiona lived with her granny, and she was very independent for that reason. But she didn't get to stay at school long enough to get qualifications. So Anna helps her big time with that, and they become a bonded group. Now, we can go on through lots of other books in the Primetime series, and Fiona appears there for sure. But eventually, and this is book, 8? This is book 8 of the Primetime series, and Fiona gets her own book. So obviously, she's gone to college, she's got her qualifications. Her ambition was to be a Scottish wildlife officer. She gets that. She starts her career and she does very well. And along the way, she meets this interesting man called Gordon. Doesn't know who he is. In fact, they don't strike it very well at the beginning. But she falls in love with this man and only then discovers that she is going to be Fiona of the Castle of Glenmory. So from being a nobody, she is assuming a very important position. And that tells you that Fiona is a really important character to me. Now, she is again very important, but here we go. We've skipped into a new series now. So Fiona's not going to lie down quiet. In this series, of course, this is one of the Justine stories, and it's book 5, Justine and the Catamount Confrontation. Now, this is a situation in which Justine is called upon to go to the Glenmory Castle estate and help because a catamount, a big mountain lion, has taken up a place on the estate in a big cave, and all kinds of things are happening because of it. So she goes thinking she's got no idea how she's ever going to help here because this is not her kind of thing. She's all about the small cats, and this is book 5 of a 6-part series, so you know she really means it. But she does, she confronts the catamount and she is able to save the day, but it costs her greatly. She's never had to do anything this demanding before, and it takes a great deal out of her. All of that goes on into book 6 of the series. Now in book 6, we find out that Justine's been called back again to the estate. And lo and behold, I have a new Justine series just started. And in book 2 of it, she's called back to the Glenmory estate and Oban again. So one character who starts a long way away and a long time away can be in and out of other series. And I think that's amazing because I never had that intention at all. But who knows what will come next? I certainly don't.